Hey Lou, why didn't the skeleton climb the mountain? He didn't have the guts. Wasn't that funny? I've been a preacher for 17 years now, and as a young fella, so what does that put me about 30, 31 when I started. And you talk about as you get older, you say, oh well, this hurts me or that hurts me, and all the older people would always remind me of how young I am. And I'm 47 and they still remind me how young I am. But you start feel a little something when you're 40. As you start approaching 50, you start feeling a little something else. And I mean, I've known I probably have this sleep apnea gig, and it bleeds into other things, causes other problems. But I've never really felt so tired. I just feel tired. And the sleep apnea makes me tired, and then that makes me less active. So there's a lot of things going on. I got like 7 hours of sleep last night, but I just don't feel rested. So hoping we can get that fixed and get some better sleep, get my oxygen levels up, feel like I can whip the world, and get out and get some things done. You know what irritates me, and I'm sure it irritates all the rest of you too? It's mishaps. And then you look around and you see clutter. And I mean, I've been talking about this for a while. But why just don't take the time and clean stuff up? I got these cords laying through here. The cows got out, mashed a bunch of hay. Cords were laying here to go to the waters. And then you start tripping over stuff and pinching yourself on things, and just stop and clean up the clutter for once. And I told you we were going to talk about silence and solitude today. And she's not interested in hearing my voice. So number 9, she wasn't interested in hearing what I had to say, so and maybe nobody else is either, but I'll just keep talking to myself till someone listens. But I told you we were going to talk about silence and solitude. And you know, Jesus got up early in the morning and went off to pray in silence. He went off to be by himself. And books like the Screw Tape Letters and things like that talk about the devil would create noise. The devil's going to create noise of all the earth. And just think about all the noise that is around you, either actual noise or just the noise of living that's all around you. And then think about how often you separate yourself from it. I was thinking about, and Melissa talked about it yesterday, I was thinking about even driving down the road. Sometimes you just turn the radio off and ride in silence for a while just to let your brain relax. Going to the tree stand, and you know, you need to leave that cell phone behind. You need to leave all the distractions of the world. Turn it off for just a half an hour. Just turn it off and be silent. Find a silent place. You got a room in your house. You got somewhere you can get up early or go to late in the evening, whichever suits you the best, whichever place works the best. Find a place like that you can go to find silence, to find respite from the world, so where things don't distract you, that you can focus clearly. You know, the world used to call it praying, meditating, and that's what we need to do now. We need to pray and meditate and be silent and just find ourselves, just feel ourselves, be bored for a minute, take a second to contemplate yourself. Try not to run from all the problems that you have and focus on them in the immediate. That's what we do. We just clutter our lives with noise. She wants that hay. She's ready for it. We just make a lot of noise for ourselves, and we're constantly surrounded by people. That didn't go any ways near the way I wanted it to. Number 9. So we're not supposed to be in the next topic, so we move from silence to solitude. Find some silence. Quiet the noise. Put the cell phones off. Turn the emails off. Turn the TVs off. Turn off all the distractions. Get away from people for a little while. And find silence. And seek out, solitude. Silence and solitude. And solitude means being alone. The short answer is means being alone. And now, we're not supposed to be alone all the time. It wasn't good for man to be alone, so God created woman. And, in Matthew 28:20, Jesus says, I am with you always. I am with you always. So it's not good to be alone. But sometimes Jesus went off to pray by himself. Sometimes we need to separate ourselves. We need to be alone for a little bit. And by being alone really means being with God. Putting ourselves with him. That's what that really means. So, alone in the flesh, but with him in the spirit. Bending my knee, calling out to him, praying, crying, letting the stresses go, feeling ourselves, and not in this worldly way of trying to find yourself all the time. I find myself when I find Christ. I find myself when I find my purpose in serving God. And that's just the truth of the matter. The old captain, he wants to go outside. We're going to let him outside here in just a few days. He's been penned up. He's been a good boy. But he wants to go outside. He wants to kick his heels a little bit. So just here in a couple days, I'm going to have enough time to put the fence up so it's secure enough for him. And he's going to get outside and see some sunshine and probably feel a lot better about himself. We got some beautiful bluebirds kicking around on the fence posts. Still a little too windy, too cold to get too busy out here yet, but we got lots of cleaning to do. Lots of stuff left from last year. Lots of new stuff created. We got plans to make and things to do. We can be stressed out. We can get worried about it, whether you're putting shingles on a roof or moving cows in a field, filing papers, doing taxes, any number of things that people do that can stress them out and pile up on their to-do list. For the most part, it's our desire that gets us out of bed in the morning. Our desire to enjoy our family, our desire to accomplish something. If those desires become like a chain, like a weight, like a prison, well then they have no value any longer. They're useless to us. For me to fully enjoy the things that I desire, what does it matter what I have? What does it matter what land I have or what house I have? what kind of family I have. I can't enjoy any of that if I can't learn to take a minute, put myself before God, praise Him, lay my petitions before Him, and just release some of this junk from the world. That's joy. That's peace. That's freedom. Get up in the mornings. Discipline yourself. Maybe you got to do it in the evening. Maybe you get up so early that you got to do it in the evening. But I'd say draw yourself into discipline. Draw yourself into discipline of going to bed earlier so you can get up earlier when there isn't so much noise. Or if you have to do it in the evening, find a place that you can be. You can find silence. You can have solitude and be with God. Hey, look. Love you all. Have a great day. See you next time.